Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 9 students. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. I hope that you're doing well. Now today we are going to see a learning outcome of oral communication. इसका मतलब है कि you have to be attentive. Students, raise your hands अगर आपको मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है. Keep yourself unmuted. Try करें कि कोई शोर ना हो. Or you can just unmute yourself जब आपको मैं मुखातिब करूं या question करूं. So for English 9 today we have lecture 7. This is about oral communication and we need to see that how we can engage effectively in a range of collaborative discussions. Now these discussions can be one-on-one between two individuals. It can be conducted in two different groups or teams, and also there's another form where the teacher is leading the discussion and just the students are actually giving their points, statements, and they are contributing in the discussion. So be very much ready. Try to speak up, hesitate mat kare, and we can start. Now, since we are talking about classroom discussions, today we have a poem that we will discuss. This is called, the title is A Wish. It's written by Maxim Candle. Now, what we are going to do today, students, we are going to read this poem and then have some discussion about it. We could probably talk about the themes, different aspects. So I need your attention and feedback. Let's see what you have to say about it. What do you think about it? The poem is in a very easy language. We can just read it. Maybe it is pointless to wish for lasting peace, for all mankind to lay down arms, for all fighting to cease. Now, this is the first stanza, this is the second one, and this is the third one. We have the remaining stanzas on the next slide. This is about wishing. The poet, the speaker is actually wishing, and what is he or she wishing for? The wish is to have world peace. Aman ke bare mein, world peace ke bare mein. We see that there is a lot of fight, wars happening. There is no peace, and the peace is actually getting lesser day by day, years by years. Maybe it is pointless to wish for lasting peace. The poet is saying that maybe the wish for a long lasting peace, jo zyada der tak rahe, it is pointless, useless. Why? For all mankind to lay down arms, for all fighting to cease. We will talk about it, why the poet said this. Now, different countries, there are different borders, they have arms, weapons. So this is why the poet is wishing that I hope that people put down their arms, their weapons, and they just shake hands and they stop the fight. To cease means to stop the fight. Now, in the second one, he said, I could despair of seeing peace throughout the land, no longer hearing talk of war, blood mixed with desert sand. Now, the poet is just describing that there's blood everywhere. Now, the poet is wishing that I could see the peace all over the world, but it is not happening. Now, I want to hear no talk of any war. We see that different countries, they are in war with one another. Even some part of the countries are now separate nations. They want to be called independent. So कैसे ये मसला हल होगा? Because people are talking about war, लड़ाई झगड़े all the time, blood mixed with desert sand. And here you can see imagery. description, the wish of the poet. We do not have the tolerance, bardasht. We don't have the tolerance for cultures not our own. Seeds fly on an ill wind from beds where they are sown. People are not tolerating. लोग बर्दाश्त नहीं कर रहे कि दूसरे के कल्चर्स को एक्सेप्ट करें. To live peacefully, यूनिटी से रहें, यूनानिमसली एक अग्रीमेंट पर रहें. ये विश है पोर्ट की कि वर्ल्ड पीस हो जाए ताकि every individual, people don't die because of wars, people stay happy and lead a very good, prosperous life. Hope lies in a child's heart, not yet turned to stone, a mind free of prejudice, a child not alone. A child, an innocent human being, a young boy or girl, उसके दिल में एक ख्वाहिश है. हालांकि आप देखें कि फैक्ट्स और जो मौजूदा हालात हैं वो तो बिल्कुल मुख्तलिफ हैं. वर्ल्ड पीस तो इस तरह आइडियली आ ही नहीं सकता, लेकिन an innocent heart, a child wishes कि ये हो सकता है. This is a very idealistic statement कि ऐसा हो जाए. But we know the reality. It's not going to happen soon, because always there will always be conflict, problem and wars. But we cannot be hopeless. It means we have to have hope, a mind free of prejudice. Prejudice का क्या मतलब? किसी के बारे में judgment रखना, गैर जरूरी, गलत, बगैर जाने. You have prejudice about a nation, a country, their people and their culture. So क्या ये हो सकता है? A child not alone. If all children of the world held each other's hand, they could do what we could not, make a brotherhood of man. Now, क्या अचीव करना चाह रहा है पोर्ट? एक ब्रदरहुड, एक भाईचारा पूरी दुनिया में, कि जो ये ख्वाहिश रखते हैं चिल्ड्रन अगर सब एक साथ हो जाएं, innocent people who want peace, so it is achievable. So it means that at the end the poet is very helpful कि ये मुमकिन है कि world peace आ जाए, war खत्म हो जाए, blood and all these problems, conflicts we see around different borders internationally. There's also fights in the nation as well, in different provinces. So can it be eradicated? Yes, if all of the people join hands together, and then they can achieve a very good world peace. Just like you see in the picture over here, this is a representation of the poem. Now, we have understood the whole crux, the gist of the poem. This talks about having a very good society where we live peacefully. It is not possible though, but we should be hopeful. क्या पता ये possible हो जाए, and there should always be a hope. We should not be hopeless, and we should always strive for world peace on every level. Now, students, I hope that you have read and understood the poem with me. We are clear about the main idea, different themes that we are talking about. Are we talking about peace? Let's see. Let's talk about the themes in the poem. All right. So what do you think? Who will give me an answer and point out at least one theme of the poem? Yes. Peace is the theme. What else?
Tolerance.
Tolerance. Yes. We have to be tolerant. बर्दाश्त करें. अदम बर्दाश्त बहुत ज़्यादा है. People do not tolerate differences. They want everybody to be like them. However, this is not possible. So और क्या theme हम deduct कर सकते हैं यहाँ से?
We have to become soft-hearted.
Yes. Togetherness, peace. We are talking about hope. We are talking about these two or three multiple themes, and when we combine these themes together, what do we have? A central idea. The central idea is to have a worldwide peace. But there are some themes like there has to be tolerance, there has to be peace, there has to be acceptance between different nations, different countries, and we can still do it, we can achieve it if we shake hands together and we become tolerant. So all these themes can be covered. So now, all right. So these are all the different themes. So if any student want to volunteer, discuss any theme or have a comment on it, so do it, because this is about oral communication and this is the basic purpose of our lecture today. Yes. So Abiha, Sadia, students from schools and academies, Noor Fatma, can you give your input? What do you have to say about the poem?
This child's wish for peaceful land.
A peaceful land. Maybe there are so many different lands. We are talking about having a world peace, that all the land, the whole area should be peaceful. What else? Do you
We have to
have?
become tolerant and have to communicate with other countries and
Yes.
cities so we can
Communication.
communicate with them.
Yes, the poet wants everyone to be together, come together and work together to achieve this peace. It's a very good point. Communication, students, is very important. But because if we don't communicate, then we will not be able to remove the prejudice. जो prejudice हम एक दूसरे के बारे में रखते हैं due to news, false news, due to media, different propagandas. So we need to eradicate it. So communication is also a very good point in this one. So furthermore, if you would like to add something in it, that would be really nice. Yes. Let's move on to the next discussion point. What is the role of children in the poem's vision? What are children have to do with this?
Children wishes peaceful world.
Yes, because a youth, a young child, a teenager, or probably all the children, they want that they are not used to see wars and such things. So it is the wish of an innocent heart, wish of a child, because children are innocent, as we say. Now, that's why this is not based on children, but grown-ups, human beings in general also want to live in peace. It's their childish wish to do it. Now, what is the role of the children? How can they contribute into the world peace? Muhammad, they should come together. They should, at a very early age, they should have this vision that I want to contribute into the world peace. This should be your vision. This should be one of your priorities that you want to contribute in promoting world peace, right? So all the children, if they are coming together, if all the children of the world held each other's hand, they could do what we could not. जो हम नहीं कर सके, poet कह रहा है, poet is a grown-up man. He's saying that the future generation, which we are heavily dependent upon, they are the future. If they start thinking from a very early age that peace is very important, it is very important to be tolerant, then we can see it coming that this can be happening in the future, in the near future. Now, all right. So before we move on to the next point, students, would you like to add something into this? Yes. Who would like to tell me about another point? Yes, students, speak up. This is a this is an oral communication class, so you have to contribute. Who else other than Abiha? Abiha's done, and she's given a very good answer. Actually, more than one. So, anybody else? All right. So I'm waiting for you to add your point in the next bullet point over here. Now, ways to realize a brotherhood of man. How can we? What is brotherhood, according to you? Okay, that's a translation of brotherhood. Do you want to add something into it? What is your idea of brotherhood?
To tolerate with someone and be kindful
Yes,
and always have soft hearted.
just like we live with our siblings, just like brothers do. They are very cooperative. They want each other to do good in their life. So, and they don't hurt each other, right? The brothers don't hurt one another. So, this is the idea of brotherhood. It's also, you can find it in our religion, Islam, as well. It is heavily emphasized that we promote brotherhood. We do uh, with others as others do with us. जैसा हम चाहते हैं कि दूसरे हमारे साथ करें, हम भी वैसा ही रवैया अपनाएं ताकि ब्रदरहुड में हम एक कंट्रीब्यूशन कर सकें. So this is the idea of brotherhood of man. और brotherhood in general, if you do it gender neutral करें तो we are talking not about one gender, but we are talking about everybody in this situation. So this terminology, brotherhood of man, is telling you what is the ideal situation should be, and this is very much appreciated. Yes. What does Noor Fatma has to say? Or Abdul Majid, Rayan? All right. Now we have seen all these things. We can also talk about these different stanzas. Now each stanza contains a very good idea. Here, पहले stanza में, do you think the poet is very hopeful? No. The poet comes across as someone who's hopeless. In the very first verse, he's saying maybe it is pointless. Maybe इसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं है कि मैं ये क्यों बात कर रहा हूं या वर्ल्ड पीस के बारे में हम बात करें. Pointless है. There is no point. But जैसे ही आगे पोम बढ़ती है, do you think he becomes hopeful? Do you think that? How? He becomes hopeful. किसके ऊपर hopeful है वो? Who is he dependent on? The children, the youth, the young generation. All right. Now, second stanza में he talks about the description of the very dark description of what is happening in our world. We are seeing no longer hearing talk of war. We are talking about war. We are hearing about it all, every day in the news, in the media. Blood mixed with desert sand. Now, this gives us a very good description that it's combining two things and it is giving us a very violent picture. So, इसमें violence भी बताया गया है. We do not have the tolerance for cultures not our own. We want others to tolerate our culture, our ways of doing things, but we are not tolerating others. Why? Why do you think that? Yes, this is our next point of discussion. Why we don't have the tolerance of tolerating other cultures? Yes. All right. This is because we are not thinking on a worldwide point of view. We are just thinking about ourselves in our own circle. So it means that we have to think out of the box in order to think about others. It is the characteristic of a good human being that he or she think about others, have sympathy and empathy as well. All right. So you can see that this is composed of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stanzas, and it talks about gradually from a point of hopelessness to a point of hope. And he or she is relying on the children, and so that the world peace can be achieved. Now, all right. So there are a lot of other poems जो आप पढ़ के discuss कर सकते हैं with your classmates. You can discuss with your peers, your fellows, your siblings, and there are a lot of now your very small task is to find poems on peace, poems that talk about peace. All right. Similarly, यहाँ पे you will this is a worksheet. You will read this passage over here, and then you have to answer these questions. All right.
Listenaminute.com.
All right. We have to play this clip.
Listenaminute.com.
Pause it.
Peace. Peace is the one thing we all hope for.
आप लोगों ने ये voice clip सुना? This is a guy who's talking about peace. That why can't we have world peace? It is much easier to live like that, because wars and all these anti-peace things make our life miserable and very hard. So we need to put extra emphasis on this thing. And now I hope that you remember most of it. It is directly related to your understanding about the poem, and now you can. So this is the proper way of talking about something. In 1 or 2 minutes, just straight away talk about it and provide your conclusion as well. पहले आप बात जब करेंगे, for example, if you are asked to talk about peace, क्या करेंगे आप? You will say, peace is very much demanding, and we need to live like that because it is close to our human nature to be very peaceful. But things are not working like that. So we see a lot of these things. So you can share your observations and आपका क्या solution है? This is how you properly put forward your point when you are contributing in a discussion. इस तरह आपने within a minute or two you have to conclude everything. This is all about today's lesson. The voice note is also added with the PowerPoint presentation. You can get it. Now Abhi has raised her hand. Let's listen what she has to say. All right, students, that's all about today's lesson. I hope that somehow we dragged the conversation, the discussion. I want next time all the students to participate in it so that the purpose of doing this is achieved. Thank you so much. I hope that you take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.